deny. Oh! There's no denying!
Little mini Megatron.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports at the Walt Disney World Resort, hosting hundreds of sporting events year after year. There is none bigger than the Pop Warner Super Bowl in its 59th year. Today we welcome you to our selection show. Come on inside our brand new state-of-the-art studio. Drew Felios alongside Pop Warner Media Relations Director Josh Pruce. And Josh, it's almost here, the Pop Warner Super Bowl. What makes this such a spectacular event?
So many things. I think one of the things is the fact they just qualified on Thanksgiving weekend. All of a sudden, we're going to Disney World, got a chance to play for a national championship, a way to see teams from all across the country, different styles. So many things to look forward to this week.
Coverage begins on Saturday, December 5th, right here on ESPN3. Should be fun. Now, we're going to break down the teams and the brackets here, beginning with our youngest and smallest in Division II Junior Pee Wee. The matchup featured Wenatchee taking on Fort Collins, Washington battling Colorado. Other games include Ponte Vedra Sharks, Hyde Park Cowboys, Fort Osage taking on the Ewa Saints. That's Missouri and Hawaii squaring off. Also have Ward 5, the Warriors. They'll take on the Stanley Blue Devils. But Josh, that Wenatchee-Fort Collins matchup really getting your attention.
Yeah, you know what? I'm excited that they're at the top of the bracket. As we mentioned, everyone on the top of the bracket on ESPN3 for the first round. I was really happy when it turned out it was Wenatchee and Fort Collins, two teams that really excite me. One, Wenatchee 4 years ago started the program, didn't win a game their first season. All of a sudden now dreams do come true. One loss this year. Here we are at the Pop Warner Super Bowl. And Fort Collins, started by John Howell, the Tampa Bay Buck who won a Super Bowl with them. He's their offensive coordinator. Maybe you can turn a little of that NFL Super Bowl magic into Pop Warner Super Bowl magic.
It's also a challenge, too, when you have teams coming from afar like Ewa, all the way from Hawaii. You got to mention, when they play in the morning, it's going to be like it's 5 o'clock in the morning back in their home state.
Yeah, you know what? That's a little bit of a problem for them. They try to get here a little early to adjust to that. That being said, against them, it's almost impossible to find tape on them, and no Hawaiian is going to give up the secrets of the Hawaiians. So that first round matchup could be very difficult.
Okay, let's move on now. D2 Pee Wee. Here it gets very interesting as we've got the Wake Forest Titans taking on the Parkland Rangers. That's our ESPN3 game on Saturday, December 5th right there. Also got the Gilbert Bruisers and Hoffman Estate Redhawks. Mount Hope, the Cowboys taking on the Colorado Springs War Dogs. East Vancouver and Brick City tangling on Field 19. Contrast in styles with Wake Forest and Parkland. How do they differ?
I'll tell you what, Wake Forest is going to slow it down. They're going to want to go right up the middle, 3 yards. They're going to run out of that eye. It's going to be slow, grinded out football. That being said, Parkland's going to want to run as quickly as possible. A lot of speed on that team. A lot of smarts, too. 9 Pop Warner All-Americans, which means they have a 96 average or better. So speed and smarts could kill. But you know what? I doubt they've seen a team that's going to want to play like Wake Forest does.
Anytime they take the field, also Hoffman Estates gets so much attention. Tell us about the Red Hawks.
They really should. They're last year's returning champions. They're a fundamentally sound team. They're well coached. The kids are just fantastic. They're disciplined. That is a difficult part of the bracket, but they should still be some of the favorites in this bracket.
Okay, let's size up the D2 Midgets now. A little bit older, a little bit heavier, player to player. Beginning with Lee Summit, the Broncos representing Missouri. North County Panthers, always tough from Massachusetts. That's an outstanding matchup shown on ESPN3. Colorado Springs War Dogs, Greensboro Ravens. Bottom of the bracket, Brick City Lions out of New Jersey. The St. Pete Silver Raiders, a local team. Short trip over I-4 to the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Los Gatos Panthers and Deer Valley Crusaders, a 4 p.m. matchup on Field 19. But how about Lee Summit and North County?
I'll tell you what, I expect this game to be really close. Lee Summit, it's been here before, but it's been a few years. Solid program out of Missouri. And then you've got that difficult brand of football they play in Massachusetts. They play hard up there. I expect this game to be really close, but there are a few others in this bracket that kind of stand out to me.
Like the Colorado City War Dogs. This is a team that's getting better and better year after year.
Yeah, Colorado Springs has been here a few times in a row. They seem to get just a little more comfortable every year, and comfort's key when you're down here. I love them, and I'll tell you who else I love. St. Pete is local. They're used to the weather. They're used to, all the environment here. It's nothing that's different, and they're going to have their hometown fans. It's playing a home game at the Super Bowl. Who doesn't want that?
No team has a shorter trip than St. Pete. Going to be very interesting tracking them throughout the week. Okay, D2 Midget now, our oldest category. Ward 5 Warriors out of D.C. Tough to deal with year after year. The Tustin Red Cobras draw them in the first round. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Also, other matchups at the same time. Naperville Chargers, Wilmington Eagles. Bottom of the bracket, Coyote Creek Wildcats. West Elmwood will have something to say to them. And then you've got the Fort Myers Firecats taking on the Tamiami Colts, an all-Florida matchup at the bottom of the bracket. Ward 5 at the top are returning champions.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't give them enough credit last year. I really didn't. I always thought they were going to run into a roadblock, and they proved me completely wrong. So, you know what? They are a great returning champion. They're going to have their hands full with Tustin, who plays for a difficult league in Orange Empire in California. Should be a close game. I'll tell you, the other sleeper pick here, Wilmington. They've gotten better and better down in that area in that league. I like them. They could be one of those things that all of a sudden, 3 days into the tournament, we're going, why weren't we talking about Wilmington earlier on?
Yeah, this is a team I think that is going to be playing for some TV time. We could definitely be showing them before the week is through. Okay, the Unlimited bracket, a division that's very different, unlike any other. Josh, how is it different than the rest?
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, this is one of those things that we're still not getting onto ESPN3, but we're hoping to expand to that extremely soon. It's a fantastic new division for us. We played it for a few years. 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. There's a minimum weight, but no top-end weight. So as long as you're above that minimum weight, you're okay. You can certainly play, so it could be 150 pounds or a 200-pound kid, so it has a lot of potential for a different brand of football.
Definitely look forward to that Unlimited division offering so many different opportunities here at the Pop Warner Super Bowl. And speaking of that, you can't have the Pop Warner Super Bowl without the cheer and dance championships. It's almost just as competitive as the football is.
I would say it's probably more competitive than the football is, talking to some of the people in there. I mean, it is a fantastic week. We're excited about it again. On that Thursday night at 5 o'clock, we're going to have our PW4 show, which is at the top level of our competition. Excited to have that again on ESPN3 for the third year in a row, so make sure you tune in for that.
I know, just doing the games year after year on Field 17, you can hear the noise and the excitement, the energy coming from the HP Fieldhouse. Okay, that's all the D2 matchups. Great to have that in the bag. When we return, the D1 brackets and teams from top to bottom. You're watching the 59th Pop Warner Super Bowl Selection Show.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida has emerged as the pinnacle of youth tournament travel, catering to the needs of the entire family. We offer a complete line of solution-oriented products and services to address the complex needs of teams on the road and the team parents who support them. To find out how to achieve vacation victory, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Don't miss a magical moment. Register for ESPN Wide World of Sports Game Day Photo Service, and a professional Disney photographer will exclusively cover your team. You're the star when your photos are turned into customizable photo products, including collage posters, team photos, custom ESPN The Magazine covers, and more at the Game Day Photos experience. It's fast and easy to create these custom products to celebrate your amazing accomplishments at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex.
Check out the wildest ride in the wilderness. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom Park has you careening through steep mountain passes and in and out of darkened caves on a runaway train that seems to have a mind of its own. So hold on to your hats as you zip around the winding track right here at the Walt Disney World Resort.
No better place to be in the month of December than the ESPN Wide World of Sports at the Walt Disney World Resort as we get ready for the 59th Pop Warner Super Bowl. This is our selection show as we welcome you back inside our brand new state-of-the-art studio. Drew Felios alongside Pop Warner Media Relations Director Josh Bruce. We've got Division 2 in the bag. Now it's time for Division 1 as we size up the teams and the matchups from top to bottom. Okay, Let's take a look at this division. It's going to start play on Sunday, December 6th. And we begin with Quakertown, the Panthers battling the Loveland Titans, who are here year after year. Naperville Chargers representing Illinois, taking on the Forest View Steelers. The Winnet Tigers representing Hawaii, battling the East Bay Wolverines. And then the Virginia Beach Mustangs in West Haven at 11 a.m. on that Sunday. The Quakertown Panthers in the spotlight because it is rare, Josh, that a team plays here at the Walt Disney World Resort with 3 losses, but that is the case here.
Yeah, you know what, you're talking about a red-hot Quakertown team right now. 3 losses, and some people say, hey, you know what, that's probably, maybe they're not the world's greatest team. I'll tell you what, I actually think it's a huge benefit. You felt what a loss feels like, and we all know that can be great motivation. Second of it, you know what adversity is like. We see a lot of teams get down here. They get down by 7 points. All of a sudden, the wheels kind of fall off the bus, and it's over with. That being said, they've got a tough matchup in Loveland. Loveland has gotten to be a bigger and better program. They've kind of knocked on the door the last few years, especially with the junior midget program. But you know what? I like them in this matchup, but I think it can be close. But again, that adversity thing for Quakertown, you never know.
Also getting my attention, the East Bay Wolverines coming from the West Coast. They'll take on the Winnet Tigers. This East Bay team, they are so close, it seems like year after year.
Year after year. And I said, and I know they're going to tell me about it, how I mentioned it. They're this close to winning a championship. I think we're eventually going to get to that point. I think this is a great matchup at the bottom of the bracket for us. I think, you know what, this could be the year for East Bay.
All right, let's move on, Josh. The D1 Pee Wee division, Virginia Beach, a household name at this Pop Warner Super Bowl year after year. They'll battle Hartford at 4 p.m. on Sunday. The Hurricanes always representing well. Then the East Bay Wildcats will take on the Harvey Colts. And at the bottom portion of the bracket, Gwen Cherry, the Bulls representing Florida, taking on the Northwest Raiders. And finally, Deer Valley, the Snakes will battle the Oak Cliff Redskins. When you talk about Virginia Beach and our marquee matchup there, you talk about speed.
Yeah, it's speed, and a little bit of more speed in some cases. This team is going to fly around the field. One interesting note, though, against them with Hartford. Hartford played, obviously, maybe the game of the tournament a few years ago, and a 3-overtime win against Holy Cross. Phil Bryan, I know their coach, learned a lot from that. You know what, he can take that experience, see what he saw in those matchups, and see if we can figure out a way to slow down the speed a little bit of Virginia Beach in this matchup.
Also, don't sleep on Gwen Cherry as well. This is a team to reckon with.
Gwen Cherry, they're always a perennial favorite, so you got to watch out for them. You got to watch out for Deer Valley. This is a tough bracket all the way around.
Okay, D1, Junior Midget here at the Pop Warner Super Bowl. The first game in this division will be Sunday at 6 p.m. on Field 17. That's our marquee matchup with the Far West Jets battling the Gwen Cherry Bulls. Then you got Morgan Hill, the Raiders, taking on the Naperville Patriots. Virginia Beach Mustangs and Northwest Raiders, and Edgewood Eagles. They'll face the Fort Collins Outlaws. Far West Jets returning champs.
Yeah, I was going to say, and if I was not here, I know where I would be at 6 o'clock on Sunday, and it's guaranteed sitting watching ESPN 3, watching the Jets play the Bulls. Far West, again, they've been great. Jason Kiddred, their coach, has won numerous titles. He always has his team ready. That being said, Gwen Cherry is just a factory for eventual pros. We've had Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and many others. So Gwen Cherry, again, that's a difficult matchup. That being said, I can tell you the rest of the bracket is thinking, I got a great chance to win this. It's a wide open bracket. They're thinking, boy, Far West and Gwen Cherry, one of them's going to have to go home. It's my lucky day early on.
Love watching those Far West Jets. They put up so many points year after year. Okay, our final division, the D1 Midget. And on Field 17, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Santa Clara, the Lions will take on the Chicago Chargers. Old Town Gators and Westland Rams, LA Valley Seahawks, Northwest Raiders, and Sweetwater Eagles. And an all-Florida matchup with the Palmetto Raiders. This is really a coin flip. You look at all these teams, they all have the capability to win a championship, but Santa Clara, a very fundamental team.
Yeah, probably one of the most fundamental in the whole tournament. Very solid coach, and Craig Conaway has coached that program for a long, long time. I expect him to do well. He's been down here a few times. It's been a few years. I know he's learned from that experience. I'll go say this. Chicago came last year. Didn't have the greatest results, but that experience can play into what really will help you long term, as we talked about before. So I think that's a complete coin flip of a game. That being said, you got the bottom of the bracket, very difficult with the 2 Florida teams and our returning champions, the Northwest Raiders. So, you know, everyone's looking for that big win on ESPNU there on Saturday, December 12th.
That's right. I was just about to say that. We had Northwest in our nationally televised game on the big screen, and they really stepped up to the challenge a year ago.
They really did. We're excited to see them again, and like I said, should be a great tournament all the way around. Just can't wait for it. Like I said, it can't come soon enough for us now.
That's right. We cannot wait. And we also have the cheer and dance to talk about. As I said just minutes ago, as competitive as the football is, if you're kind of wandering around the park, make your way into the HP Fieldhouse because it is a sight unlike anything you'll ever see.
Yeah, I was going to say over 300 teams coming down here to compete. And again, ESPN 3 on Thursday at 5 p.m. You're going to get a chance to see a little bit of that. The PW4 exhibition, I think it's going to be great. We're really excited for those girls to compete. We've had some of the best performances we've ever seen. And again, just a great thing going on this whole week here at the Pop Warner Super Bowl and Cheer and Dance Championship.
You ready?
I certainly am.
As ready as we'll ever be,
That's right.
The Pop Warner Super Bowl 59th edition coming at you from the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Our coverage begins on Saturday on ESPN 3. We hope you join us. For Josh Bruce, Pop Warner Media Relations Director, I'm Drew Felios. We'll see you at the Pop Warner Super Bowl.